There are some social habits that I see everywhere that just pisses me the off. And no, I'm not talking about the basic advice like eye contact, body language, and just basic conversational skills. You can find hundreds of tutorials on those. These are things that even socially competent people do. And they just make me wanna like... Ooh, sorry about that. Just had to express my annoyances. So in today's video, I want to cover some of the things that people do that makes them more of a nuisance without them even realizing it. And you probably do them as well. The first social habit is when people give out a lazy, generalized compliment that doesn't amount to anything. So what's your major? Oh, I studied computer science. Oh, you must be a very smart dude. Over the few years of me being in college, I had hundreds of interactions that just went like this. And holy shit, I hate it when people do this. First of all, it's shallow. It reveals nothing about the person. Like, how do you know that I'm smart just based off of that one thing that I've done? And second, even if you think you are saying something nice, you're still evaluating them on your own conditions. Oh, so they're only smart because they picked your definition of what it means to be smart? Like, nobody wants to be put into a box and just have a label tacked onto them. They just want to be seen for who they are. I'm telling you, people care about their autonomy a lot, and they don't want people to throw labels onto them. They've already been judged by their Asian parents and society to do whatever that they think is right for them. They don't need another person to come in and label them again. And so the alternative to this is to give a specific compliment that is observation-based and impact-based. People care about the impact they have on the world. And so if you could show that they had an impact on you by telling them about a particular feeling or a particular problem that you were dealing with, but with their help, they were able to help you solve it, people will appreciate you for that. So instead of saying, "You're smart," you can instead say, "When you took the time to break down that concept for me, I felt very relieved because I was seriously overwhelmed and stressed about this topic. It was very confusing for me. And you explained it in a way that made sense to me." Now, that compliment may seem long, but it does work. It's personal, and it shows real appreciation because you point out the specifics of how you felt and what problem was solved in your life because of this person. It makes the other person feel recognized for who they are and the impact that they've given to the world instead of some bullshit stereotype like, "Oh, you're smart, you're pretty, you're a good worker," or whatever bullshit stereotype there is. And so you can follow this format. When you did this, it made me feel a feeling because it fulfilled this particular need or solved this particular problem in my life. There's a good video that covers this that I will link down below, which goes very in-depth with it. But you know what's just as bad as giving a shitty compliment? Not being able to receive a compliment. It's those moments when someone gives you a compliment, but you downplay it or even flat out reject it. For example, "Hey dude, that was a very insightful presentation. I learned a lot about XYZ. "Nah dude, I started like 5 times. That presentation was shit. I don't know what you're talking about." Dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're making it awkward, and you're insulting yourself when someone genuinely found what you did to be amusing or good. Like, damn dude, I'm just trying to give you some of this genuine love, you know? And you're out here just rejecting it like a job application. All you have to do is just say thank you and just take the compliment. That's it. And if you want to keep the vibe going, you can just elaborate on top of it. "Hey, that was a good presentation, man. I appreciate it. You were a good audience, by the way. Like, you asked some good ass questions. I'll give you that." Like, see, it's just that simple. The third one I want to talk about is the tendency for people to pretend they know what's going on. Someone explains something and they talk about a few things that you've never heard of, or maybe they even directly ask you, "Oh, do you know what that is?" And all you do is like, "Yeah, I do." And then, even though we don't know what the fuck they're talking about, we just agree with it. And at some point, we're questioning about it, and we're just standing there like we're a clown because we pretended that we knew what it was. Instead of feeling like, "Oh, I don't want to sound dumb, so I won't ask anything," I think it's much better to just ask away immediately. People are willing to partner or work with people who are imperfect, But if they think you are lying to cover up your imperfectness, then they wouldn't want to work with you. So anytime you hear something that you're not familiar with or you're confused about, just ask away. Just ask like, oh, what's that? And no matter how dumb or stupid you might come off as, I think it's better to come off as dumb and stupid to build trust with people so that they know you are competent and you are transparent with this, rather than, okay, well, I'm just going to pretend I know what's going on and then whatever. And finally, a bonus tip. Learn to just be quiet. I made a whole video about this the other day, but I want to elaborate on it a bit more because a lot of people can't handle the gaps between conversations, and so they constantly like rush in to fill it up. The reason why we get a lot of these like interview style questions that people find very dry is because people aren't comfortable with being quiet. If you have nothing to say, if you aren't curious about the person, don't ask any questions. It's that simple. Some people just can't stop talking, and the silence makes them feel very uncomfortable. So they ramble and try to fill in every gap in a conversation. And they bring up the most random shit to talk about to just fill in this time. They're constantly searching for things to talk about rather than letting things just come by naturally. People respect confidence. And confidence means that you don't have to prove anything, which also means that you're comfortable in silence. If you talk nonstop without giving any pauses, you don't give people the chance to think about what you've just said. Yeah, so I was at the store the other day, and the guy at the register, he was kind of weird, but not like super weird, just like, you know, kind of awkward, like one of those people who don't really make, you know, he just didn't give off the right just vibes. Stop. Pause. Let people think. Let them respond. Sometimes the most powerful part of a conversation is the silence. So yeah, stop doing these things. Stop giving lazy half-ass compliments. Stop rejecting compliments like it's a shitty job app. Don't fake knowledge when you don't know it. And a bonus tip, be okay with silence. So yeah, you don't have to be perfectly social, but just don't do these damn weird things that just makes me not want to talk to you. I have a few more social habits that I do want to talk about, but if you guys have any more ideas, feel free to share it in the comments and give this video a like. And yeah, and stop being so socially insufferable. Alright, I'll catch you later. Alright, subscribe, and peace.